PM Magazine, Utah. I'm John Rieger. This is Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. I've come here to St. George to meet Whittlin Bill, the creator of these characters. Before we do that, though, here's Michelle with the rest of tonight's show.
Thanks, John. Tonight we're going to visit the Sheptoks, a family with 27 kids. In our departments, Dr. Whitaker continues the PM Magazine diet with some thoughts about dieting and protein. Chef Till is slimming down with a tasty recipe of Chinese vegetables. And Joyce Kilhaywick finds out what's hot this year in lawn and patio gadgets.
Wood carving, or whittling, is something that most of us don't know much about. I certainly can't do anything with it. But some people are real artists at it. They can take a block of wood and change it into Wyatt Earp, ready for a gunfight. We'll see how it's done when we meet the best in the West, Whittlin Bill Higginbotham.
The first carving I made was supposed to have been a horse, a funny-looking horse, and it turned out to look like a bulldog. And I thought, oh, gee, I'm finished. I can't carve. I like caricatures because they give the greatest range for expression, the greatest use for imagination. And I like the old Western-type figures. There's just something about them that's very appealing. They're not phony.
Bill Higginbotham rises with the sun every morning. After breakfast, the 67-year-old St. George resident walks a mile to work.
I can put my work in a plastic bucket if I want to, or in a bag, and take off. You might say my motto is, have bag, will travel.
Bill was teaching high school arts and crafts in 1956 when he decided he wanted to show his students something new. So he got a book and taught himself to carve wood. Bill retired from school teaching 4 years ago, but he still works 12 hours a day at a new vocation.
I'm a whittler. Now, there's a difference between a wood carver and a whittler. A wood carver carves with chisels and gouges and has to have his wood anchored to a bench while he is doing this, whereas a whittler holds the wood in his hand and carves with a knife.
Bill whittles all day for the public at an art gallery. Then at night comes home and whittles in front of the TV set until it's time to sleep. He sells or gives away most of his work, but his favorites fill every table, bookshelf, and corner of his house.
I'm compelled to it. I'm sort of got a, what do you call it, I'm like they say a workaholic. I'm a carvaholic. I can't stop, really. I have tried to stop it sometimes so I can cut down on production. The wife at one time said that I'd either have to stop carving or get rid of them some way because we were filling the house up with carvings. We had them under the beds and the closets all over the place. In the 20 or more years that I've been carving, I've completed over 2,000 different carvings.
Through the years, Whittlin Bill has developed his own style, somewhat resembling the painting technique of Norman Rockwell.
My favorite piece is the flagpole painter, from a Norman Rockwell painting.
He likes to carve older persons because their faces have more character, more wrinkles and worry lines.
The years of struggle and strife written in the face. I like to accentuate the size of the nose. I enlarge it out of proportion to the face. The ears are usually large. The hands are usually out of proportion to the body. They're large. Just for some reason, I started doing it that way, and it seems to be attractive to people.
Bill likes to hike into the mountains, select his own dead tree and cut it down so he gets the kind of wood he wants, usually quaking aspen for the bodies and avocado wood for the heads.
I leave the carving of the head to last. It's like the dessert after dinner. I enjoy doing the head, and I can bring out certain features and characteristics in the head that really attract people to the carving. The head makes the figure, really.
Bill, your entire day, and in fact life, is built around whittling. What does your wife think about this?
Well, she's reconciled to it now, and I think she quite enjoys having me whittle because she's heard other women say, I wish my husband would do something like that. He's always under my feet. He doesn't know what to do when I'm too tired. See? It's like having a good feeling when I'm tired and taking my mind off of big problems and worries. I have that therapeutic value. I also like the feeling of origination sharpens the mind, especially if you're originating figures. You've got them thinking all the time. It helps me a lot, as far as whittling is concerned, to keep my mind alert and sharp, keep me feeling young.
Bill's energy and attitude come to life in the faces and bodies of the caricatures.
Circle to the left, go round the ring, you circle to the left, now the other way back. Make those feet go wiggity-whack, right back home and swing and whirl around and around with the pretty little girl and couples 1 and 3. Go forward, up and back that way and whirl away with a half sashay. Take her to the right, go circle for the...
I start out with a piece of wood sometimes. I have no idea what I'm going to achieve, and out comes something that I've never dreamed of. So that I've carved something that nobody else has ever carved. It's something different. It's an original. That's a good feeling.
Bells are ringing. Bong, 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 bong. Bells are ringing for a girl and boy.
I enjoy people coming up and looking at my carvings and break out into wide grins, or sometimes they just break out into a belly laugh, and that really tickles me.
In Loveland, for me and my gal.
I recognize those bow legs.
You're on the right track, Michelle. This is what Whittlin Bill thinks I look like if I was dressed like a cowboy. I tell you, I sure won't sag like that for a few years.
I'll be back in just a moment to tell you what's happening in our departments.